Hi everyone, welcome to Hobby Kakis.
Oi, over here.
Huh? Who? Where?
Yeah, down here.
Wait. What? Okay, that's enough. For this episode, we will be doing an unboxing and review for another popular designer toy brand. It's none other than Hot Toys. Disclaimer alert, I am not a hot toy collector yet, so this review is really based on my first hands-on experience as well as some research that I've done online. From the lame intro shots, we'll be looking at the newly arrived Hot Toys Ant-Man and the Wasp Ant-Man 3.0. Why 3.0? Cause this is the third Ant-Man figure from Hot Toys, and the one that has created the most discussion online. So how true would it be? We'll see later along the review. For a start, the packaging spots the usual character artwork with very nice holographic UV prints for the title, as you can see. And once you open the box, you will see a colourful board featuring all the cast and crew, which I feel is a good touch to remind collectors of the hard work by artists involved in the preparations and production of this figure. As usual for most, if not all Hot Toys figures, the protective cover keeps all the accessories and main figure well protected, as well as you can see some sponge in use for added protection from any incidents. So first off, a list of all the accessories that you will get, namely the minifigure, the string down lap with additional long handle, the retracted helmet that is to be used with the head sculpt, the two pin particles discs, two sets of additional hands, one in a claw mode while the other is for holding the disc, as well as simulating pressing of the transformation switch. Of course, we do have the base included, as you can see. As usual, it's a hexagonal base, and on top, that's where the movie title is, as well as an image of Ant-Man in transformation. At the front is the character name for Ant-Man. In addition, it comes with a stand that you can put on the base and have the figure placed on top. Lastly, a background board is also included. Basically, it featured the Ant-Man transformation, but as this is to be placed behind the figure as a background, the image at the folding will not be seen. Next, we will look into the iconic head sculpt. From first look, I have to say it's a very detailed head sculpt as per what you would see or expect for all Hot Toys figures. From the eyes, the ears, as well as the styling of the hair. I mean, it does look realistic, isn't it? Which is why there are no less of collectors in the world. But somehow there seems to be something awkward or weird in some sense. I guess it's the choice of having him smiling and that set of unusually straight row of teeth. Which I think is where all the controversies are relating to this head sculpt. We did some search for Paul's smiling photo, as you can see here, and did found some similarities too. So what would be your take on this? There was so much controversies to the extent that the name of the sculptor was removed from the official site, which I feel was a pity for so much hard work put in. Maybe it's just that we are not used to having a heroic figure with a smiling face. What do you think? Oh well, we'll just leave it as that for now. Moving on to an overall view of the main body. First impression is that the entire figure is awesome, and movie-like I would say, with the accurate colour scheme as well as overall proportions. For the helmet, the details is impressive as you can see. And also usage of different texture at different area adds on to that, like rough texture on the side of the helmet, and not to mention the amount of details for the mouthpiece. Red clear parts were used for the goggle area so that you can still see the eyes within the helmet. Of course, that is to be enhanced when the light is switched on. For the top, a carbon fiber finishing was done, and this is also where it housed the battery compartment for the lights, which I will show later. Moving on to the body, it seems to be made of some leathery material and with good details. This is especially so when you compare the red and black area. On the red area, you can clearly see the use of metallic red that comes with nice details. And when you do look at the black leather area, you can see finer texture on it, which creates a contrast on the suit. Not forgetting, enhancement has been done with grey or silver print. This was carried out to the back as well. Over here, there seems to be an issue with the shoulder pads, which is clearly of other materials compared to those on the chest. And also, the colour seems to be different in general, which is a waste. Moving on to the arms, the same leathery effects was used to have a similar look as the body. But for the red, it seems to be printed on instead, which I feel looks better compared to those used on the chest. The elbow pad is similar to that of the shoulder, but non-removable, so do be careful when you bend the elbow. Moving down to the hip and legs. The belt looks good with great details and use of clear colours on the buckle as well as the compartment for the disc. For the thigh, it seems to be a little more muscular than usual, which makes the butt look smaller. Moving on to the boots, I like the trimmings done on the edge. Next, the only lighting gimmick that this figure has will be at the helmet. As mentioned, the compartment is on the top. All you need is to remove the cover, click on the switch, and there it glows. Looking at the effect, the lighting placement is well planned, which not only illuminates the entire eye, you can also see the effect near the mouth area too. Moving on, we try out the articulation of the figure. The head is on a big ball joint which allows you to do the usual turn, a tilt up and down, as well as the side pivot. Moving on to the arms, the usual 90 degrees raise. If you would like to raise more, you will need to remove the Velcro shoulder pads. You do have some form of front and back pivot, as well as some arm twist. Points to note, when you bend the joints, there will be folds created on the suit. Although the material is stretchy, I'm not sure if there will be stretch mark after prolonged bending. The wrist is on the ball joint, and I like how the wrist was made with locking mechanism so that it can take some weight. For the body, there are some amount of front and back bend. You can do a little twist, but mainly restricted due to the tightness of the suit. For the legs, you can do both a front and side raise as such. There is a 90-degree bend on the knees, and lastly, you can do at least 180-degree turn on the ankle, with forward and backward bends, plus some side tilt. So there you have it, our review on Hot Toys Ant-Man and Wasp Ant-Man 3.0, for you to compare with both the headscarf and the helmet on display. Some thoughts that I have. As my first hands-on with a Hot Toys figure, I'm really amazed with how realistic a figure can get, and how lifelike it can be, and the technology behind the creation of the internal skeleton, the material used for the human skin on the head, the eyes that have so much details, and not to mention the material used to simulate the suit for playability as well as details of the armor. I must say that it's really one of a kind, and maybe the reason for the amount of collectors. And whether you collect for interest or as an investment, I would say that it's a good to have collection in general. For the amazing work in replicating each characters from movies, comics, and even to remember the contribution of popular personalities whom have brought all these figures to life. Hope you enjoy our unboxing and review for this Hot Toys figure. And do be kind if we have some differing opinions. Please Continue to support us with a like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell for future content. We are Hobby Kakis, and we hope to see you around. Do stay safe in the current environment, and peace.